Hey there, it's Kathy Gallo, and my friend Leanne Susie's filming us right now, but we wanted to talk to you a little bit about how easy it is to go to the dollar store and spend about 20 bucks and come back with some excellent, really simple, developmentally appropriate activities for young kids. I think you all know that kids learn through play and learn through their senses. We have some quick, simple ideas for you to look at and hope that you will like them. Even something like this, for a child who's having a little bit of a difficult time maybe, this would help them to relax and calm themselves because it's got lots of texture and lots of interesting things. It's also really fun to paint with it. You could dip it into paint. An infant could paint with this toy. They could dip it in and drop it on the floor right off their high chair and have some excellent painting going on if you put some paper on the floor. So that's kind of fun. These, I know you think you're supposed to use these to clean your clothes. Well, guess what? These are excellent for kids to explore, inside or outside. Just imagine all the things they could find on the carpet or on somebody else's back, and then you could explore them. Also, the sticky nature of it makes it a lot of fun, and you could certainly use these as paint rollers too. I'm going to move down here. These are just different types of ribbon and crepe paper that you might use to decorate for somebody's birthday party. But boy, wouldn't these be excellent if you have a chain link fence in your yard or in the play yard, and children can weave in and out through the chain link fence, or on a simple weaving board like this. This is also from the dollar store. Children can weave, and it doesn't have to be a perfect stitch that, you know, they're not necessarily needing to be a seamstress, but they can weave and put different things in here. This is a pipe cleaner, some ribbon, and these kinds of things would also be awesome on your fence. Some children, when they go outside to play, aren't interested in swinging and climbing, and they need a little break and something a little more quiet. So this would be a nice kind of fine motor and socialization exercise for them. So, take your pantyhose off, your knee highs. You can get some knee highs at the dollar store. They come more than one to a package. This one we put some rice inside, but you can put almost anything inside. And this is a perfect painting stamper. Children of all ages can dip this into paint and stamp on the paper. You could also choose in any of these type of bins or a big container or a pan to put the paper in here, and then the splash is a little bit less splashy, if you will. It will stay more contained in here. You can put dried beans in these, you could put macaroni, you could put rocks or sand or almost anything, and children can use them over and over and over again. While we're talking about painting, this is also all dollar store. This is a simple little manicure brush to clean your fingernails, but it's a great thing to paint with. It's also something that's nice for children who might need to soothe themselves a little bit. Maybe at circle time, you've got one that just can't sit still. Maybe that child can use this and just be able to rub it on themselves if they need to. And combs. Never mind the hair. Paint with combs. You can get a bunch of the, how many were they, Leanne?
I think there was like 12 in a bag.
So you can get 12 in a bag for $1, and children can put paint on the paper and brush the combs through the paint in any way that they see fit. They don't need to be combing in a certain way. All right, I'm going to move over here. This, and I put these tubs out purposely. Children who need sensory activities often like to have their own individual way to do that. So they don't have to share the water table with 4 or 5 other children or the sand table. These bins or these bins all come in handy for things to stay more individualized. This is what the florist uses to put your beautiful flower arrangements in, but children can have a grand time using that with, we just grabbed some pipe cleaners, but they can put almost anything into the florist foam and create some 3D sculptures. They can do it any way they want. You're not going to tell them what to do or how to do it. It's really up to them to figure that out. This is a pumice brush. Most people would use this for a pedicure, but we're using it for children to be able to grate. I'm going to grab the bucket here. But this is a cinnamon stick, so children could use it. I don't know if you can hear that, but they get a beautiful sensation for their hearing. They can see it, and they can smell it. They can smell the cinnamon as they're grating that. Speaking of grating, they have these handy little graters in the kitchen section. It has a little plastic catch-all down here. This is Betty Crocker. But I want you to be aware, these are not dangerous. I'm rubbing my hand on there. I have been known to actually lick these with my tongue and not cut myself. A child is not going to get hurt on this. It's okay for them to use this. And they could do the same with the pumice stone. You could do cinnamon on this, but one of the things we like to do is this lavender soap. Lavender has been known to have soothing properties. The smell of lavender can soothe a child who's upset. So they could take this soap and they can grade it. And again, you're getting a motor experience, you're getting a sensory experience, and it's also very calming. It smells nice. Once the soap is caught, the soap pieces or particles are caught in here, you could add them to a bucket like this and put some water in, and they could have a different sensory experience with that same lavender soap smell. Next I have, well, you know, we're filming this and we were at the dollar store during Easter season. We don't want to do a lot of holiday things with kids. In fact, we prefer you don't do any holiday things with kids. They get enough hype from holidays just by being in existence. They see it on TV and the ads all over the stores. But parents sometimes want to think they're doing something for the holiday. We bought some of what they think of as Easter grass. I like to just think of this as a wonderful sensory activity. This one happens to have pink and green, so there were 2 bags that we put in here. But it's a wonderful thing, a different thing for you to put into your sensory table for children to explore with. This would be also great to use for collage, just with some glue, or to use with contact paper for toddlers and infants to stick things on. And it will also stick to these wonderful rollies, and you can peel that off, and then each child can have their own little funky 3D design with those beautiful little papers. So this, again, we talked about lavender. This is a body wash. This would be great in your water table. If you don't have a water table, it'd be awesome in just a bin for a child to be able to explore with some nice warm water and get that wonderful lavender scent that can be also very calming. And I think I've saved my favorite for last, although I like the soap a lot too, but this is the 3 things from the dollar store, so 4 things. So this will cost you about $4, but it will give you hours and hours of children being engaged. This is just like a cutlery holder, a silverware or a knife tray that you could put in your drawer. And these are small little containers that I found right next to them. It's called Essentials. I don't know what you're supposed to use it for. They're plastic. And they fit perfectly into this little container. And then we bought a package of sponges, and we cut the sponges up, and we have them in here with water, and we have sponges with different textures. So the children who use this is a citrus squeezer, another $1. They come in all different colors. I would buy several of these, folks, because your kids are gonna love this. So they get to take the wet sponge and they squeeze it, and out comes the water. And it can stay completely contained. If you're a family child care provider, you won't have this mess all over your house because children can use this individually. If you work in a center, kids can do this at a table or wherever they'd like, outside. And they, over and over again, and you can talk about wet and dry and the different properties that the sponges might have. The sponges are really cheap. Make sure you change them often. You don't want to have musty smelling sponges when the kids are trying to play with them. But look at how simple this is, and it will literally give the kids hours of fun and activities for very inexpensive dollars. So stay around. We're happy to have you on board with us. Remember, children need active exploration and hands-on play to be able to learn and grow and develop into the children that they're going to be later on. Thank you.